The Indigo Files. These pages are a personal exploration and experience of the emergence of the indigo and octarine ray people into the world today. The indigo, also called cobalt or blue, phenomenons has been widely discussed and examined in many New Age, light bearer, ascension, and esoteric circles. But little has been written firsthand about what it is like to be an indigo and live this life. I seek to remedy that in these pages. What I write here is from personal experience, insight, and guidance. You may read things here that are only now manifesting themselves in our world or have not yet been broached or discussed in mainstream circles. There are no secrets here, only life as I know it and experiences as I relay it for the benefit of my peers who are either conscious or latent indigos. Some of what I write here may make no sense to you if you're not one of us, but I share it in the spirit of tolerance and understanding. Indigo or not, we are all related, and we are all members of the human family on this planet. Who are the Indigo people? Part 1. I have assembled here a list of some of the traits and potentials of Indigo people. There are many indigo ray souls reading this who are still trying to figure themselves out and realize they are different somehow, but don't know why. This work hopes to be of some assistance in sorting you out and pointing you in the right direction. It is written primarily for the adult indigos who find their way here. There are no accidents in the universe, but applies to the younger indigo children too. The seeds of many of these traits are present in the children today and will flower into full power when they make it to adulthood. These traits and characteristics are based partially on my own experience and guidance as an indigo adult and from talking and reading and corresponding with other adult indigos. Some are self identified, others are not. I use the word we collectively and I personally. Who are the indigo people? Why are we here? What purpose do we serve? Are we a threat or an improvement? How can one spot an indigo adult or child? Are you one? Your child? Someone you know? The world is shifting and changing. Old paradigms and cultures are dying, superseded by brilliant new ones. A change is happening, the apocalyptic mindset is setting, and the ascension mindset is rising. The world as we know it is at a cusp between great ages, and we are in a time of accelerated development as well as decay, both socially and spiritually. There is much confusion in the world as the old ways try to maintain their grasp on power, and the new ways brighten the horizon and edge their way in. The whole result is an incredibly confusing mix of dogmatic, rule bound conservatism and rule free hedonism and social anarchy. This explosive mix is evident in the public world road rage, wild children, indifferent parents, dogmatic fundamentalist evangelism, no holds bar radio and TV, and previously impossible mix of stark prudishness and wild abandon. Even Rome wasn't this crazy when it fell, and they had lead poisoning as an excuse. As the Chinese curse states, we're living in interesting times, very interesting times. Headlines that would have shocked us a couple of decades ago now barely rate an eyebrow. The wonders of science increase at such a rate that what was science fiction last week is science fact this one. Add to this volatile mix a new spiritual species of human beings starting to make an impact on this world. They have been labeled electric blue, cobalt, and indigo by various channels and prophecies because of the high frequency emanations of their particular auras. Every living being has one, a field of energy that surrounds, permeates, and radiates from them. They can be sensed and even photographed with today's electronics. Psychically sensitive people have seen them forever. These field sensitive people can see a dark electric blue, almost black auric outline around these people. It is the deep, brilliant blue of the clear sky after the sun has set, but before the stars appear, a terminator or a cusp color. In the light spectrum, it is next to high it is the next in the light spectrum, it is the next to highest visible band of light in the rainbow octave we can see. Highlights of violet, green, gold, and white are also apparent. I was called cobalt several years back by a sensitive spiritualist medium in England, but the most popular current title is indigo. For the sake of brevity, I shall use indigo also, but it applies to all people of this auric category. Much has been made of the current crop of indigo children being born, but indigos of the current group have been incarnate for just over 40 years. The earliest indigos born between the late 50s and the late 70s had protective auric overlays of standard blues and violets and tans because the culture was not ready yet for the impact of pure indigos who started appearing in the mid 80s. These elders possessed some capacities as the younger indigos, but had a longer latency period. This was for their own survival and protection. Elder indigos are just starting to come into their real power and act as guides, role models, and tutors for the youngers who are now manifesting. They had to spend some time in the old world so they can help make the transition into the new world. I am one of those indigo elders. Throughout my life, I have been called an old soul and have experiences and insights that are outside the usual parameters for the life of a person of my culture and heritage. Even when I was young, I knew that I was different somehow, but no one could tell me why. And I asked everywhere: church, teachers, parents, mentors. No one could give me a straight answer. I finally learned the art of inquiring within, asking my higher self, my guidance. Establishing that contact and trust has thrust me into a whole new realm of inquiry and knowledge. I was given the gift of communication and the mission care, which should I care to accept it, and I did, of serving as a beacon of light as and as an information wisdom channel. I serve with honor, humility, and the wonderful understanding that there is important work being done here, and I am an integral part of it. I am a member of a vast global family of lightworkers and spiritual craftspeople who are here to help shape the future of this lovely world and its inhabitants. We have been here a very long time, and with the upgrades we bring, we'll be here even longer. It is possible that you may know an indigo or be one yourself. Indigos vary widely in their presentation. In the adults, there are two categories: those who are conscious of being an indigo and are coming into their inner power, and those who are latent and haven't quite made the interconnection with their gifts yet. The ones who made it are of all races and walks of life, but there will be that certain something about them, a presence or a charisma that sets them off from everyone else. They may not be rich or formally college educated, but if they give you advice or make a prediction or observation, they'll be spot on. There is a depth of wisdom and knowledge within them that eclipses many highly educated sorts. They can be quiet and unassuming, but the successfully integrated, balanced, and self actualized adult indigo has an aura of an ancient warrior sage about them. And even if they are very young, they would have wise old eyes that will see right into your soul. It is difficult to lie to them because they can turn those ancient eyes on you and strip the dishonesty right out of you. They have heard every lie, seen every scheme, done everything that there is to be done from the beginning of time. But they volunteered to return with all those eons of wisdom and experience intact. This is an awesome responsibility, but the indigo bears it with grace and humor. The latent and not yet manifested older indigos are often the result of harsh mistreatment or misunderstanding as children, or being told over and over by parents and authorities that their visions had no meaning or their sensitivities were fake, or worse, they are insane. The psychic pain of this malfunction of assimilation and actualization causes them to truly go mad or turn to alcohol or drugs for comfort from the pain. With them, with time and care, even these seemingly hopeless ones can find some measure of peace, get in touch with their gifts and potentials, and live to serve as they came here to serve. End of part one. Thank you for listening, and be sure to click the next video, which is part two. Who are the Indigo people?